Welcome to Code Station.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Ultimate Kotlin tutorial. This is episode 9 where we are learning about for loops. If you have missed out on our first few episodes, I would highly recommend watching them first, but without any further ado, let's begin. So today's agenda will be for loop and ranges. So what exactly is a for loop? For loop is nothing but a block of code that will be executed a specific number of times. That number of times will be set by the user. So let's understand how for loop works practically inside the code. Okay, so we are on the code and now let's try to create a for loop. So how will we do that? So we'll create a variable where I is equals to 0 say, and then let's create a for in bracket I in 1 to 5. So what this exactly does? So basically what we are doing here is we are repeating or iterating through the variable I as it increases value from 1 to 5. In our previous video, we dealt with while loops where we were incrementing these numbers or integers by 1 inside the block of code, but here inside for loop, we are doing it inside the condition itself. So what it is doing basically, it will run the program where we are printing I, right? So it will print 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. That is how for loop works. So let's see. As you can see, it printed 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, one below each other because we are doing println. That is how a for loop works. But now I'll add one more thing that is called as a step. So it will, instead of incrementing the value of I by 1, it will increment the value of I by 2. That means it will skip one letter from 1 to 5, one number from 1 to 5. So as you can see, the output became 1, 3 and 5 instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is how the step condition works. Okay, so that is one way of creating a for loop, but there is one more way of creating for loop using the until operator, as we talked about. This is called this is like a range. Okay, so if I do I in 1 until 5. So what this will do? This will basically, if I print ln over here as I, and if I add a differentiating value to understand which is what, I'll do a simple print ln until, and if I run this now, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, it only printed till 4. That means the until operator basically does not print the upper bound. So our upper bound was 5 and we printed till 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 was the last number that we printed. That is how the until operator works. Now in the newer Kotlin versions, this has been replaced with something called as, if I go here, if I hover over this number, it has been replaced with this operator dot and less than. So if I replace it with that, it is a better version and it has new capabilities other than until. That is how the until operator works. Okay, so now we made the for loop for incrementing values, but what if I want to make it for decrementing values? So for making it to decrementing values, let's again take a for loop of I in 10. Let's say if I want to print numbers from 10 to 1 in descending order. So let's do for I in 10 down to 1. So what it will do is it will basically print from 10 to 1 the digit number I. So if I print ln now, print ln I, and let's comment this out so that we understand how it. Okay, let's comment this out. Okay, and then let's run this. So as you can see, it printed the numbers 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? So it printed in negative numbers. And now we can also add a step to this of step by, let's say, step of 2. And if I run that now, as you can see, it printed with a difference of 2 between each numbers. That is how the decrementing for loop works. Now let's try to implement a multiplication table of 5 using for loop. So let's take a simple variable, call it num. So let's call it number actually, and let's give it a value of say 2. Sorry, my bad, 5. We have to multiply the number by 5, right? So where number is equal to 5. So now we implemented this multiplication table of 2 in while loop, but let's try to implement it in for loop. So how will we do that? We'll take a simple I in 1 to 10, right? So we are taking a simple I in 1 to 10. That means it will I will increment from 1 to 10 inside our for loop. So let's try to take a print statement where we are printing number into I. So as you can see, if I run this code now, it will print simple 5 stable, that is 5 1 is 5, 5 2 is 10, 5 3 is 15, 5 4 is 20, and so on and so forth up till 50, 5 10 is 50, that is our 10 number, the last number. So as a developer, we know that this is a table of 5, but what if we want to tell that to the user that this is a table of 5? So how we normally write a 5 table? We do 5 into 1 is equals to 5, then 5 into 2 is equals to 10. That is how we write the table of 5. But what if we want to write the same way inside our console? So we can do that by just simply adding a string. Then we have to add a number, that is number plus string, then add a multiplication sign. Then let's do plus I, that is our variable that we have taken into the for loop. Then let's do is equal to, again, plus number into I. Right? This is a way of doing it, but as you can see, our Kotlin is a strictly typed language. It's not a loosely typed language. So we need to print, while printing, we need only a single type of variable. So we'll have to do this number into toString. If we do this, see, the error was gone. Again in I, if we have to do number into toString, the error is gone. And then also over here, inside this, I have to put a simple bracket. As you can see, the output became 5 into 5 is. Okay, so we have to basically change this curly braces into normal braces so that we can put this whole number that is multiplied and then convert it into string value. So that is how we can. So now that we made this simple println statement, the developer is having problems while understanding what exactly is written, because there are a lot of things that we have put to string plus then adding this concatenation to string and everything else. It's very confusing for the developer. So how can we make it easy to understand? So we can use the concept of string templating. What exactly is string templating? So as you can see, we have put a lot of things here, but in string templating we can just directly take a string, and inside the string we can use this use of dollar symbol. The dollar symbol will help us directly put the variables inside a string automatically. So let's take dollar number into dollar I, so that is 5 into 1 or 2, whatever number is there in the current iteration, is equals to dollar in bracket. Now we have to use the concept of curly braces. The curly braces will be used to identify that this is a complex thing, and then we can multiply the number automatically. So number into I, and then if I try to print it now, it will give me the same output as before, that is 5 into 1 is 5. Exactly, so the output is the same, but now it is easier for the developer to understand as well what exactly is written in the code. That is the concept of string templating. Thank you for watching the video. Bye bye, see you the next time. Peace out.